Happy and Fit. I'm super excited that you're here. I cannot wait to get our Zoom kicked off with Liz. She's going to be talking about being a present leader, which just wait, it's going to get really, really good. Before we get kicked off, first of all, happy Thursday, and we are already in October, mid-October, which is crazy. And, you know, these next 3 months are going to maybe feel slow. And the reason they may feel slow, and first of all, I'm not saying this to brag, but I'm saying this to show you that I've been through slow months a couple of times as a coach, hitting Success Club for 28 months in a row. I've been through October, November, and December a couple of times, and it is slower. And this is why people have parties to go to. They don't want to spend money on their health, and they want to spend it on parties or presents and things like that. So in your posts, show people how they can incorporate being healthy and the holidays. In your posting, start being on that preventative side of indulging, and be on that preventative side of the average weight gain during the holiday season is 10 to 15 pounds. So catch it now. Because if you start getting in the minds of those people who are wanting to make excuses, and then guess what happens January 1st? They all freak out, right? So if you can kind of show them how you can stay on track during this time, and guess what is going to help with that? You already know what I'm about to say, core de force. If you have not set up an event page for that, I think there are a lot of pros to setting up an event page. You can invite people if you find it uncomfortable messaging people like I do. I love doing cold invites. So I love setting up an event page and then inviting everyone and posting on my event page. And then if people click going, guess what I get to do? Hey, so-and-so, I see that you clicked going to my event page. I would love to talk to you about it. That's easier for me. That's my vibe. I like that. So this event page, I made a video on how to break it down. I would make your event page today, not right now, but either sometime before the 31st to give people, and you can go to my event page, steal whatever you want to steal, the wording, and talk about this launch. Because what's going to happen is this is going to be a 30-day program where people will feel like an MMA fighter, and they don't need any equipment, so they don't have to pay any extra money, and they can join our test group as a team. I know some of you are launching your own test groups, which is totally fine. We are going to be launching ours on November 21st. And the reason we picked the 21st is it gives you 2 weeks to invite from the 31st, November 1st, to our test group. And the nice thing about that is Sarah and I are setting everything up for you. All you have to do is get your people in, and in order to be in the test group yourself, you have to get core de force and commit to 30 days. And I'm really excited to do that as a team. I think it's going to be amazing. So on the 31st, Sarah and I are going to make a post. Whoever gets core de force, you're welcome to our test group. You're going to say, I purchased it. We're going to add you to it, making you an admin. And then you get to talk to people about it, and then they can join our test group, and we'll have a lot of people doing it. So I'm super excited about it. Core de force is going to be huge. It's going to be that program that helps people stay on track for the holidays. So if you're feeling like it's kind of getting slow, I've been there. But you have to be proactive and plan out your challenges and plan ahead. When you do that, you have a solution for people. Team store is open. Thanks, Morgan. She, from day one with our team store, has taken charge of that. And you can get some team logo wear, which I love wearing it all the time. And people always ask me, I'm wearing my Team Happy and Fit pants right now. They're the long legging ones. They're awesome. I love them. So if you want to get anything in the store, they're awesome coach gifts as well. So maybe you have some stuff, but it'd be good to give some stuff away. We are running Emerald Daily groups, Sarah and I. If you are in either of our downline, that's whose group you are going to join if you want to. It starts on Monday, and it's just accountability for this Emerald Daily is what it takes to get to whatever your why is. I don't know if everyone connects that. They say they want certain things and to do things, but it's going to take momentum and consistency for you to get there. But these activities align with you getting to that why, whether it's paying off debt, whether it's paying for your Shakeology, whether it's taking your family on a vacation, whether it's leaving your job, which we'll talk about very shortly here. Those are the activities that you do to move yourself to that direction. And it takes easy, hard work, in my opinion. So get in one ASAP. I think I have 18 people joining my next one, which I'm really excited about. And then we have a sneak peek on Monday. We tried something new. It's the live video. I love it. We can answer questions right away. Maybe you're feeling, Julianne, my people can't get to the sneak peek at that time. So what I would do is I would go to your upline. You guys should feel free to run your own sneak peeks and do your own live thing, but definitely click going. The reason I say that is because people have joined sneak peeks before because they see it pop up in my news feed that there's a sneak peek, and then they click going or they check it out. And when you share that video, as soon as one of us goes live, guess what? People are watching. I've had people join our team simply because they caught a live video of it, which I think is really cool because they weren't someone necessarily on my radar. So those are some things that are starting to happen in the next couple of weeks. I'm really excited. Team, it is October. Like, we have almost finished this full year and it has been amazing. And let's continue. Whatever you do right now is going to set you up for January. Last October and November, that is how Sarah and I were able to leave our full-time jobs because of right now. I left my full-time job in December, get it? 3 months. And then Sarah left hers a couple months after that. And I can't believe it's almost been a year since that. So right now, I'm not saying leave your full-time jobs. I'm just saying if you go and are consistent today, that is going to set you up for next year, and it's going to be awesome. It truly is a delayed result business, but it's so worth it. I love you all so much. I'm so thankful you're on this team. I'm going to give it to Sarah, my best friend in the whole wide world. Go ahead.
Yay, thanks. So I'm going to talk about team spirit. So registration is going on right now. And what Team Spirit is we are basically partnering up with Team Fit and Free, who Sarah Morrison is our upline. And all you have to do is go to our team page. And if you go to the search bar and you click Team Spirit, it'll be the first post that shows up. You just register, make sure that you put in that you're part of Team Fit and Free, that it's with Sarah Morrison, and then it's really easy. You just put in like your coach ID number, your name, and then boom, you're registered. So all that does is we are basically just trying to rack up as many points as a team as possible, because they're going to take the highest, I think it's like the highest 3 teams, and they're all going to win a Core de Force sweatshirt. But here's the thing, if you hit Success Club 5 in November, you're automatically going to get a Core de Force tank top. So that's like really like something like absolutely everybody could get. You don't have to worry about what the rest of your team does. If you hit Success Club 5, you'll just get a tank top. And I think it'll be a great way to also promote Core de Force, because once they end up shipping that out to you, you're going to be able to wear it in pictures and everything. And I just like having a bunch of logo wear to like wear outside the house that people ask me about. Okay, so Team Spirit, like definitely sign up for it, because it would stink to hit Success Club 5 and then you don't get a free t-shirt. Okay, and then I just want to shout out people doing Rock the Basics. We've got 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and I think 4.0 is going on as well. So everybody that is getting that done, that's awesome. We are in I think we're in the last week. Yeah, I think we're in the last week. So the new Rock the Basics will be starting the first Monday in November. So definitely watch out for us to post in the team page the registration for November Rock the Basics. Get in there. It's like a college course for your business. And I know a lot of you are like waiting to do 3.0. Basically, you need to have, I believe it's like 5 PS coaches, and you need to hit be kind of like consistently hitting Success Club. I believe those are the parameters. That's what it was when I took it. So if you're not sure and you think you might be close, just like reach out to Julianne or I, and we can let you know if you qualify for Rock the Basics 3.0. Okay, and then I also want to shout out the people doing Emerald Daily and the Diamond Daily right now as well. Those are just awesome groups, like Julianne was saying, to be consistent with your business. I think when you have a piece of paper and you have to like write down all these things you did that day, it really helps, because you're like, okay, I have to fill out all these slots. I have to like legit get through this whole thing. And literally doing that is going to pay off 3 to 6 months from the time you're actually filling that out. So cannot tell you how many coaches I've signed up that have told me no in the past. It happens all the time because I just happen to ask them at some point. So it's awesome. We've seen a lot of consistency with people doing that. So it'd be awesome if people decide to continue that. And then also people who've been participating in like our little fun challenge, the memes, the videos, the photos, like that whole thing. Julianne and I are in the process of sending out gifts to everybody who won for those groups, but that's been really, really fun. And let's open it up for some shout outs. So unmute yourself if you want to shout out somebody on the team. Anybody?
I have one for Liz, but you're going to take it over, Sarah. So just so you guys know, I do have one for Liz. Bethany loved our Zoom the other day. That girl is freaking fierce. And Lauren, you guys with Emerald Daily, just like pumps me up in our conversations that we've had through Messenger. It's just really cool to get your questions answered. Riley, it's super awesome to see you just like going after it, sister. I notice it. I'm pumped about it. Morgan was just here visiting from Wisconsin. You guys, we went to school together, but we weren't friends, and we were laughing because we had the same friend group. But the reason we are friends now is because of Beachbody. She flew out here to visit me and stay with me and Eric and her husband because we are legitimate friends through Beachbody. How cool is that? This is such a real deal that she would fly across the country to hang out and stay with us, and it just felt so cool. So I'm just so thankful for this opportunity.
I'm unmuted, so I'll do a few shout outs. Shout out to Pam and Mariah, who've been rocking my Diamond Daily group. Shout out to Jeannie, who is on like all the Zooms, which is awesome to just show up in that way. And then shout out to, I know my coach Randy's planning on going to Super Saturday, which is awesome. And I know it's like a huge deal for her to go Super Saturday because it requires her to kind of like travel, and it's quite a few hours out of her day. It's not just 15 minutes up the road. So that is amazing. That's definitely going the extra inch. And then everybody doing my Emerald Daily group. I think that's Katie, Cindy, Aaron. I feel like I'm missing one. Shoot. Anyways, but everybody doing the Emerald group, awesome. Anybody else want to do some shout outs? Don't be shy.
I have a couple of shout outs.
Okay.
One I have for Riley and Kaylee because they recently became Success Partners, and I saw that they Zoomed last night and they are rocking their business together, and I've seen them both show up daily and just so excited for them. Shout out to everyone who came to the Des Moines retreat a few weeks ago. It was a blast, and it was so inspiring and empowering hearing everyone's whys and their stories. And then lastly, shout out to Liz, who's helped me stay accountable. She's been doing morning power hours with me, and we literally text each other at 5 a.m. every morning, make sure each other are up. So it's been a huge game changer for myself, and I know it has been for her too. So that's mine.
Anybody else?
I have to give a shout out to Kristen for opening up so hugely the other day and sharing something that was really hard for her to share. I know it was really hard for her to share, so she's just rocking it.
That's awesome. Yay. Anybody else?
Yeah, I have a shout out for Kristen as well. I've been really paying attention to her social media lately, and she's been on fire. So Kristen McNeese, way to go. I've noticed you. And then I have 2 coaches going to their first Super Saturday with me in Milwaukee, Lisa and Kelly. So I'm really excited for those 2 to come with me.
Oh, yay. That's exciting. I love that event. Kim?
I've got 2. One to Miss Bethany for rocking the 3-day refresh. Last day, she's going strong. Oh, yeah. And one for Miss Amanda, who just hopped on. She finished our Emerald push that we did last time, and she's jumping on again this time. She's almost there, and she's just rocking her business. And she's jumping onto the Zoom while the Cubs are playing. So go, Amanda.
That's a big deal. I've done many Zooms while the Packers are playing. DVRs are like a really nice thing. That's awesome. Any other shout outs? All right, let's get started. Woo! Okay, I'm introducing Liz. Liz, oh my gosh. So I got to meet Liz when I went to Milwaukee when Julianne was still living there, and she had a big like team retreat thing too, which was awesome. And I cannot tell you how like happy and like overjoyed Julianne and I get when we like see our coaches doing well. It's like you get more excited than like for yourself. It's like having children, you know, like you see them prospering and you see them doing well, and it's like the biggest blessing. And so that's how we feel. And to have a coach that's like quitting her job at, you know, very soon, because she's about to have a baby very soon, is amazing. And just as a mom myself, I say all the time, I wish I had known this coaching opportunity existed when I was pregnant, like the first time, you know, because to not have to leave your baby and to not have to like figure out childcare and to not have to deal with like that cost, and is my child going to be safe, and like all of those things, and to just know like you solely get to be the one at home, but yet you're a stay-at-home mom that has an income. I mean, in this day and age, like you don't have to be a stay-at-home mom making $0 like our parents did, because social media exists. And I think that like this business is such a huge blessing. And Liz is only 24. Like that just blows my mind. And like just think of where her business is going to be when she's 30, you know, and how like just she's not going to have to, you know, worry about, you know, financially and things like that. And it just like, it's so exciting. So I'm really excited that Liz has this opportunity, that she's taking this leap. And I know how scary it can be, but I also know how well it can pay off, because you can totally rock this business working in it an hour a day. But just imagine when you're at home and you can start putting a little bit more into it, like it just starts to accumulate and grow even more. So without further ado, Liz, take it away.
Whew, I am so blessed to be here, you guys. I am so filled with so many emotions, like I said. So thank you so much for being here. There are so many beautiful, amazing changes going on in my life right now. Sarah, thanks so much for that introduction. Feeling blessed right now is an understatement. So thanks to all of you for taking this time out of your night to be here on this call. And I hope you have your notebook and your pen ready, because I'm about to give you a ton of information. I hope that's helpful to becoming a present leader. And the fact that you're already here on this call shows that you're already so willing to be present, that you're making the sacrifice to be here when we're all busy at night is a huge deal to me. But before I even begin, I just want to start by giving a huge thank you to Julianne, my coach, for believing in me. None of us on this call would be here if we didn't have present leaders in our lives, and our leaders saying yes to this opportunity and leading so beautifully with their hearts. So thank you, Julianne, for everything you've done for me. I can only talk about being a present leader tonight because I have a present leader, which is so amazing and is such a blessing to me. So honestly, if you go back in time with me, I assure you that being where I am now is nowhere close to where statistics told me that I would be. I say this a lot, but no one would bet on me growing up to be a leader. As a child, I was abandoned by my own dad. I was living in a home with a mom who was addicted to drugs and alcohol. And because of my circumstances, I started taking on a lot of codependent behaviors. So things like low self-esteem, the need to be in control of aspects of my life, excessive need to please others, overwhelming anxiety and stress of things that are going on in my life, extreme worry, not feeling like I was good enough. Oh my goodness, my communication just lacked direction. I would blame myself for problems that weren't in my control. Fear of being alone, difficulty making decisions. I could go on and on about how my life just did not look like a leader. I don't know about you, but none of those things to me sound like a leader. And so in my mind, I never in a million years thought that I could be a leader. I want you to picture what you think a leader is. For me, when I close my eyes and I think of what a leader looks like, I see none of those things. I see things like a person who is super put together, a person who has plenty of money in their bank, maybe a person that's dressed in a suit, or a prim and proper professional, natural public speaker, and many other characteristics that I think society shows us are what needs to be ingrained to when we think about a leader. So all of those things to me sound pretty exhausting. I don't know about you, but I think that would take me forever to chase. I don't think that I could ever get there. But honestly, before Beachbody, before this opportunity, that's what I thought a leader was. So when I was looking at all these things that I identified, or things that I was struggling with, I just always saw myself falling short. Leadership was never something that I thought that I could obtain because of what visual I had for a leader. So since saying yes to this opportunity, and since Beachbody coming into my life, my vision of what a leader is has changed. And I'm so thankful that Beachbody challenges these statistics. They really challenge us to look at our past, look at who we are as people, and identify where our struggles are and how those struggles can help make us into the leader that we are going to be. And I'm so thankful for that. I really think that this opportunity rocks the boat of societal norms when it comes to leadership. I think it shows what happens when real people, genuine people with good hearts decide to show up and lead in such a non-traditional way. And I'm just so thankful to this opportunity for opening my eyes to that. And I hope you see that tonight. So I'm thankful I don't have to be any of those things, and you don't have to either. So the biggest thing about being a present leader is that you can make whatever mess you're going through your message. And I just think that's such a beautiful thing. The fire that's inside of you can be stronger than any fire that's happening around you. And that can push you forward to being a present leader for your team, because you're going to be so relatable because you're focusing on what that message is. So I think there are tons of things that you learn through your journey as a coach. If you think about it, we have a million different resources. We have a million different things that we can join to help teach us about the business. But I think the hardest and most rewarding by far is learning your way of leading. The way of leading that's going to set you apart from other leaders in this business. You hear of the vital behaviors. We all know our vital behaviors, and we emphasize those a lot because those really are the foundation of what's going to help launch your business forward. But if I could add a fifth vital behavior, it would be being a present leader, because the vital behaviors are the foundation of your business, but being a present leader is like the heartbeat to your success. So I'm going to repeat that again. In my opinion, the vital behaviors are the foundation of your own business, but being a present leader is the heartbeat to your success. So if you were looking at this call tonight for being a secret formula to what a leader is supposed to be, it's definitely not that. I am still on my journey. I am still working on becoming a leader myself, but I want to share tonight different ways that have worked for me and have worked for my leadership with my team. And I hope that some of these tidbits are really helpful. So being present, though, means that you are a present leader for not only your coaches, not only your downline, but also the people who you're mentoring. So when I look at leadership, I'm not just looking at being a leader on the team that or my tribe, the people who I've attracted
on my team, but I'm also looking at being present for all of the other relationships that are intertwined in my Beachbody journey. So some of those things are like on social media, posting about your journey every single day is like the easiest way for you to show that you're present every day. It's a consistent behavior that you're doing every single day that's showing up and showing your journey. Be real in those posts, be vulnerable, and then definitely have a message to those posts. So that looks like not just taking a selfie with your shake and saying, here I am with my shake today, or here I am working out today, but actually have a valuable message that you want others to learn from that post. So that has been a huge game changer in being present, is that you want to show your audience and show the people who are following you what this journey is all about, what it means, and what you've learned from it. Another tip for being a present leader is showing up when it isn't convenient. This is a huge one. It's not always convenient for you to show up, but when you show up in inconvenient moments, that could be the make or break to a huge relationship that you can have with either a coach, a future coach, a challenger that just really needs a good friend. That can be through personal Facebook messages. That could be through audios. That could be through if a person you've reached out and just said, hey, how are you, has opened up and told you about something going on in their lives. It is a game changer if you reach out to them a week later and ask them how they're doing with something they talked to you about. That sounds really simple at this point because that's something that I do just more naturally now, but following up with people and actually talking to them about real things in a conversation you've had previously is huge for being present. Don't forget about your people. Don't forget about what they told you is important in their life. Yeah, Sarah, people like to be remembered. Exactly. You don't want to you want to remember those details. If they've told you that their significant other hasn't been feeling good, if they've told you that their daughter or son has a soccer game coming up this weekend, those things sound like they're, little things, but that's their world. And being a present leader is talking to them about the things that are important to them. So even if it's little things that seem like they're not important to you, that's what they're choosing to tell you about. That means it's important. And if you forget about those things and then you don't talk to them for 3 months, you're not showing up, you're not being present. And people want to be remembered. People want to be noticed, and those things make or break. So again, showing up when it's not convenient could be sending an audio 5 minutes out of your lunch break, or on a car ride, or in the grocery store. I send plenty of audios that are just quick messages to people that are not necessarily inconvenient times. They might look like I'm in the middle of the grocery store and I send a quick message. I could just worry about my groceries, but no, I wanna reach out to somebody who might need me in that moment. Giving up time in your evenings, giving up time on your weekends to go the extra mile. Now, I'm not telling you to be a chronic coach. That is like the last thing I want you to do. I'm not saying you have to be on the clock at every hour, but I'm talking about little messages in these moments, because this might just be what they need from you. And it might be how you're going to build that trust with them in a moment that they need you. So definitely find that balance, but be willing to message in inconvenient moments. And then also knowing what's going on in the lives of your personally sponsored coaches and your entire downline. This is so important to me. My relationships with my coaches are huge. I reach out every single week to every single person in my downline. And I want to know the latest on their lives. I want to know what they're doing. I want to know how they're feeling. I want to know how their family is. I want to know how work's going. And it's not out of obligation for me. It's because I care about them. I want all of them to have the same amount of success, and I genuinely care about how my team is doing. And I hope they always know that. So you have to care in this business. It is a heart business. It's a people business. And your progress in your business is only a small part of the equation. How you show up for others in this business is the heart of this business. So again, what you're doing in your own business is just a small part of the equation, but how you're showing up for others is the heart of what we do. And I'm just thankful for being on Team Happy and Fit. I'm thankful that, I don't know if you guys realize this, but our team is so different than other teams. We care about people. I'm so thankful for Julianne and Sarah and leading that way. I would not want to be on another team. Our team shows up, and our team is having people with real hearts and real results because of the people in the leadership roles that care about them. That's huge. That is huge. So you have to care in this business. You have to love people. You have to love people and put them before yourselves to be a present leader. When you are struggling to find energy, that's the moment that you need to reach out even harder. There are so many days that I want to give up, or I think that I'm so far from reaching Success Club, or I feel distant from my goals, or I've dropped rank. But these are the moments that you need to reach out to your team even harder. You need to lean on this entire team. You need to talk to more people. You need to mentor more. Every single moment that I felt like I was at a low or I was at a really deep valley, and I've reached out to talk to somebody, or reached out in an old message to somebody and asked how someone else was doing, it fueled my fire again. It helped me progress even farther when I felt low, because I had that fire grow inside me that I care about other people and that this is actually helping and that this is such a beautiful solution. And it fired me up to want to do more. So it's easy to fall trapped to our excuses. And it's easy to want to give up when things are getting hard or you have a lot of early mornings. Like Lauren said, 5 a.m. every single morning is sometimes hard to do. We want to hit snooze, but then we wake up and we crush our goals and we help people and we get messages back that that's the little tidbit they needed to get through their day. It's just so rewarding. I'm just thankful every day that this is making a difference. So when you're struggling, that's when you need to reach even harder. Be willing to be open to real conversations. I remember probably early on in coaching, probably about, I'd say 6 months into working the business, I remember calling Julianne as I was starting to build my team more. And I was in tears because I didn't realize, Julianne probably remembers this conversation. I was just crying to her because I didn't realize how real this was going to be. I didn't realize that I would be leading people that had such strong desires to fight for things. I didn't realize that I'd be mentoring people who had such deep burdens. I didn't realize that I'd be mentoring people with just such a strong fight. It brought me to tears because all I did was ask my downline what their why was. And I remember it was like a night that I had laser coaching, and it was just boom, boom, boom with like all these laser coaching sessions. And I think I had like 5 or 6 of them. And when I got off those calls, my emotions, I couldn't control it. Because when you are working towards your own goals, that's just such a small part of the equation. But when you have a team of people that you're fighting for and that you know their whys because you've opened the door to have those real conversations with them, that's what fires me up. And it was just a real raw emotional night for me because I was able to see the bigger picture of how being a present leader and knowing those things about them had such a significant impact on my own business. That fires me up. And I hope that fires you up. So when you're getting people to join your team, when you're attracting your tribe, you're attracting people that this is going to change their lives. You are helping somebody make a decision that they didn't know they could make themselves. And then you get to be on the journey with them as you're watching all the success unfold for them and for their families. When you're watching their whys come true, like that's the beauty in being a present leader. So there are so many things in this business we get wrapped up in. But I would say the biggest thing is just to know your people, your coaches, and the people who you're mentoring. Have those real conversations and know that every single person's leadership style is different. What works for me might not necessarily work for you, but just knowing that you have that flexibility to take everything that you've been through, everything from your past, and shape it into how you want to lead others and be genuine. And I would say that those are the biggest takeaways that I've had as a present leader. So I hope that you have a couple tidbits that you can take back with you. Julianne and Sarah, I don't know if we have time to maybe have people share out a takeaway or something that they think that they want to take from this call to apply, or how you are thinking about ending the call. But what are your thoughts?
I have like pages and pages of notes, and I just like was like leaping like through the screen. It was so powerful, and just to see your growth. You guys, Liz has been coaching for a year, and maybe you've been coaching longer and you feel like you are farther from Liz, but that's not the point of this business. The point of the business is to not compare your journey, but be inspired by it. And I'm just saying there's a reason she is where she is. It's because she has belief, and that's evident, Liz. And, you know, something that struck me is I was having a conversation with a coach the other day. You know what? Your why may not have anything to do with finances. And I think that's awesome. The cool thing about this business is that it's all different for all of us. But at the end of the day, it's community, it's connection, it's conviction, and it's moving forward in your life, whatever that means. Maybe you your elephant on your chest is finances. That's mine. And, you know, just from how I grew up in my story to what I don't want for my kids one day. But yours might be, I never see my family, or I have so many negative people in my life, or I simply need to lose 50 pounds. Whatever it is, this is what you have to think about. Your why is important. And maybe you and your future team, maybe you don't have a big team yet, but I want you to think about this, is their why is going to be different than yours. And the coach I was talking to, their why wasn't financial. But if you found out that your team, that their why was financial, would you feel like you would want to help them? Because yes, we're going to help people regardless with fitness and nutrition. That's just what's going to happen in Beachbody. And that's what's awesome about Beachbody. But there's something so much deeper with knowing the why, and your own why, and your people's why, your challengers' why, the people that you're talking to, what struggles they go through, because you have a solution for them to move forward and not feel so stuck. So that blew me away, Liz, because I think it's easy to remain, I almost said consistent in our business, which you should do, but stuck in our businesses because we're focused only on maybe, well, you know, Success Club isn't important to me, or this isn't, or that's too hard. But when you know what you're truly fighting for, you find your fight every single day, and you nailed it. Where I fight every day because I know what your why is. I know what Kim's why is. I know what Sarah's why. Sarah and I don't even have a business that's even related to each other, but I show up every day to fight for that. And when you know that's what you're fighting for, it becomes a game changer. It's insane. Listening to Morgan's why, we were talking about it this weekend. I was excited to share that with her husband, Sean, and her, and be there and fully present with them, being like, man, That's why I do this. That is why I show up. It is so cool. Sorry. Sarah, you have anything? Anyone want to add anything? Like, my mind is blown. I nailed it. Like, just drop the mic and implement ASAP. What is something you're going to implement? But I'll stop talking because you guys know I talk a lot. So Sarah, anything?
I just really love the quote, Liz, that you said about the 4 vital behaviors are the vital foundation to your business, but being a present leader is the heartbeat. Like, I'm going to use that quote now because I think that, like, sometimes we get stuck on, like, focusing on ourselves so much, and you should focus the majority of your energy on, like, what you're doing. But then, like, when you don't show up as a leader, you see how crazy that can, like, affect your business. And sometimes people really are great at rocking the 4 vitals, but the leader part is something that I think takes a lot longer to learn. And so I like that. I love that quote. I think that was awesome that you touched on that.
I think that even has a lot to do with your challenge groups as well. If you're inconsistent in your challenge groups and you're not showing up as a leader, and that's where it starts. You start leading there. If you aren't taking that seriously, if you're not marketing and strategizing and planning ahead in your challenges, you are going to feel rushed, you're going to feel overwhelmed, and you're not going to execute. But if you have a plan in the next 3 months of exactly when your challenges are going to be, you're going to be a more present leader for inviting those people who do need this. Like, these tools that you have to give them are going to change their lives. They work. They've changed our lives. And
yeah, I think that, like, sometimes you assume that, like, your team knows this is what I do every day, but I think that's why, like, Jillian and I like Snapchat so much, because, like, if you go on our Snapchat stories, it's like you see our workout, and then you see us drink or shake, and then we do our PD, and then you can see us, like, sitting down at the computer and working. So it's like we're showing, like, everything that we do. And I think, like, we think, like, okay, well, the coach has done rock the basics, like, they understand. But especially for, like, newer coaches, like, just because you're doing these daily steps, like, you really do have to show them to your downline, because it doesn't always, like, click right away, if that makes sense. Anybody else?
The one big thing that I took away was doing things when it's inconvenient, because especially this week I've been home alone, and I'm finding that it's been way more inconvenient than convenient. And when that happens, I don't do it, or I'll be at work and, like, I'm at lunch and I'm taking a late lunch, and I always try to do a Facebook post or reply to somebody, and every time it just seems like it's always more inconvenient than convenient, and I just need to do it anyways. So that's the biggest thing that I took away. But I also liked how you said, make your mess your message. I just thought that was really cute.
I think that life happens, and this might blow your mind a little bit. 1 power hour you don't do, and honestly, I think this worksheet is less than an hour. I think if you complete everything on this worksheet, you could do it in 20 minutes, which I love, if you are running short on time. But if you do this, not rushed in the sense of just getting it done to write stuff on it, but you actually have been thoughtful about it, it's inconvenient. But if you don't do a power hour, that's 1 week. For every power hour you don't do is 1 week away from your why. And I think about leaving my job in a year and a half. How did I do that? What was the big thing? And what was the big secret? And Julianne just is automatically better at this and that. And I can tell you I have a ton of deleted scenes, a lot. Sarah and I cry a lot to each other of how we've messed up, or just things we're frustrated with, because we want to constantly be better. But I never missed a day. Like, it hit me where I've been in the middle of nowhere with 0 signal, standing on a table, holding my phone out at 11 p.m. Got to get that post in. They were terrible posts. I look back and I see them, and I said, I still showed up. I learned. Super salesy, but I did it. And now I share my story a lot better. Or being in Europe on my honeymoon and paying $300 for Wi-Fi on a cruise ship. $300 for Wi-Fi on a cruise ship on my honeymoon, which, by the way, we were off the cruise ship 12 hours of the day. But I woke up an hour early, sometimes 4 a.m. to catch the 4.0 Zoom, and maybe really late at night. So I didn't even use the Wi-Fi all that much. I had one of the best months I did as a coach because I invested in that. I even bought Wi-Fi on an airplane once because I was going to Rome and I was going to be on the plane for 14 hours. The summit sold out, but I bought my ticket on the plane and got my ticket before it sold out. And I just think about that was inconvenient. Really inconvenient. I'm on my honeymoon. I could have said that, but now I look back and I'm like, dang, I get to go on a lot of moons, whatever, with Eric. I get to go do all these things with Eric. And yeah, it was inconvenient. But now I look and I still freaking hustle every single day. I wake up whatever time. Sarah goes to bed at goodness whatever time. I've already been sleeping for 3 hours. But because she has kids and all these things. But dang, Lauren and Liz, they wake up at 5. You guys, they're both pregnant. Teaching is the most exhausting job in the entire world. I was a teacher. I know that. They're married. They have all these other things, but they did it. And you know, it's crazy. Ever since they've been doing that together, I've noticed the change in their business. And now look at what they're doing and what they're about to do and what's about to happen. There is no secret. It's very, very inconvenient, Samantha, most of the time. You know, most of the time it is. And it's amazing. You know, at Christmas time, I'm up at 5 a.m. while my family is sleeping. My in-laws are sleeping because I know that's the only time I have because I don't want to take time from spending time with them. But I'll get up early when they're all sleeping and crush it for an hour and not check my phone the rest of the day. And that's inconvenient to me, but it leads to a life of convenience. And now I can work whenever the heck I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want, on my own terms. It's not convenient, but it is so worth it. So worth it.
That's so true, Lauren.
And, you know, the freedom, it's not finances Lauren's talking about. It's the freedom of being present because you do feel rushed. You do feel overwhelmed. You do feel stressed. In fact, now when I go to stressful places like the DMV in California, you don't ever need to experience it. I was like having anxiety there because it was so rushed, and I'm not used to that anymore because I choose to not live that way. So when I am in moments of that, it freaks me out because I've removed myself from that because I don't function on overwhelm. I don't function on tired. I don't function on all that like I used to. And you get it. That's freedom to me. And this is the thing. It's not Sarah can only do this and Julianne can only do this. These coaches right here are making it happen. I have a lot of conversations, and so does Sarah with her leaders, that they've been doing it every single day, and crazy things are happening to them. So it's not just us. It's all these people. And it took Sarah Morrison to believe in us and tell us there's no difference. There's not, you guys. There really isn't. It's failing forward, and you're going to be in the valley a lot, and it's going to feel low. And it's going to be hard, but when you know how to peel yourself out of bed because someone just rocked your world and said something super nasty to you and it just crushed you, or your significant other just doesn't believe in you, or your work is calling you out because you are living a different life because Beachbody is unconventional and they want to tear it down, but deep down your best friend quits or your best friend doesn't talk to you anymore. Been there, most of those situations. But if you know what you're fighting for, you'll find your fight. And it's going to feel so good when you continue to do that. Anyone else?
Amen, sister.
Liz, I'm just so proud of you.
Thanks.
Liz, I really liked when you said ask your coaches what their why is. I feel like we do that in the GSR, but I feel like, especially if you've had these coaches on your team for a little while, just like rechecking back with them to see if that's still their why or if their why has changed and, you know, what they're still fighting for so that you can help them fight for it.
Thanks, girl. Yeah, that honestly is a huge, huge thing. I mean, you have to know all the time what your people are fighting for and who is really ready to fight for that and who isn't. And I think something I didn't really talk about, which if we did part 2, maybe, just knowing those whys also just leads into knowing that you are going to have some people who are under you who really want this and they're pushing hard. And there are people like Julian's talking about that will be in literally no cell service and doing whatever it takes. And you're going to have people under you who don't have that kind of work ethic. And maybe, we're all at different places on our journey. And I will tell you, and Julianne and Sarah will say it too, and a lot of other leaders on this call, but leadership can be really lonely and it can be really hard to be a present leader when you have people under you who aren't always pushing at the same speed and you want it so badly for them and you have a heart for this and you're hustling super hard and checking in with them and you hear crickets. But just also understanding that you have people under you being willing to walk with the people who are ready to walk and run with the people who are ready to run and finding that separation, because if you don't, you could go crazy as a leader because you don't know what their why is, you don't know where they're at in their business, and you're trying to charge hard with people who aren't ready to do that, or vice versa. So I think that's really valuable to know where they're at so that you can know where you're going to meet them and you're not frustrated or feeling like you're having a hard time yourself because you can't want it more than somebody else. You can't want it more than they want it.